Okay, so we got the Sentro put together. I believe this helps with the tension, and I think I'm just gonna have to wiggle it in there. Well, I guess it kind of can push and then slide in there. I don't know if that looks right. Should it be up higher? I'm not sure about that. We'll leave it there until I can find something else. And we're supposed to, I'm just going to start with one of the chunkier skeins of yarn. Like I said, this looks kind of like a 5 to me, but it might be, I don't know, I guess it could be a 4. I'm not 100% sure on the size, but complimentary yarn. So all of the videos that I have seen, or even other people that I've seen do it, they just kind of crank it and wind the yarn around. So I guess that's kind of supposed to go through there. And as you're turning it, it can go around that one maybe. And then behind that one, in front of that one, behind that one. See, that doesn't look right. That does not look right at all. Okay, we'll undo it and try it again. So I don't know why I would be starting at this pin, but we'll start there. And so we went behind that one, so in front of that one, behind, right? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that was right, but we'll try it and see. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure about this, but it's probably gonna be trial and error until we get that figured out. And we'll just keep doing that till we get back to the first pin. So that's behind, and that's in front, and that's behind, and that's in front. I'm not sure if that's right at all, but okay, we're gonna go with that. And I guess it goes through there, and then I'll just kind of start with a medium, I guess, tension, and we'll see. And it doesn't seem to be picking up anything, so either I'm cranking in the wrong direction, which is very possible. So yeah, I don't know about that. All right, that looks better, maybe. Kind of looks like some things might be skipped. But if it is, this is just a trial, and this is not my best yarn. So we'll just keep spinning and see what happens. That definitely, this right here looks completely not right. So I might just have to take that apart and try that again, because that doesn't look connected at all. It looks like everything slipped off, and it kind of looks the same for this part too, like that just didn't hook on anything, so that's not going to be great. So that will definitely need to be taken off. So let's see, what is the best way to take off yarn when you know that this is messed up? So let's see. Like I set, first time using this. I have no idea if that is right or not. I think I'm just gonna try to get the yarn off. I don't know what happened on the second round of that. I don't even know if, well, I mean, it does have a counter, so I suppose it does have different rounds, but that ain't right at all. 100% errors right here. And I'm sure I either cast it on the wrong way, so I might need to go back and revisit something about how to properly cast on, because I don't know. Right now we got a mess and a half. So I'm gonna go watch a video and see how to put this on, because that's not it. All right, I'm gonna try something else and I'm gonna come back. Okay, scan the QR code and watched a very short video that still did not tell me how to attach this little thing there. So it's on there the best way it can be on there. I don't know, I have to find a video for that. Didn't actually come with a load of instructions, but we're gonna try the cast on again. Let's reset the counter. Okay, and we're gonna put our yarn back here. And we're gonna cast on spinning the thing to the back of us. So that's on that one. Oh boy, I don't know about that. See, I think they all went through on that one, which seems like they should all be going through. That's the thing that I'm not getting. Like, okay, okay, and I've also learned turning it the other way will basically unravel it. But it looks like, okay, so it looks like on the hook though, we're not casting on every hook, which is weird for me, because like I said, this is my first knitting machine, but also I've used like the knitting looms, and the only time you would skip is if that was an intentional skip. So this is kind of making my brain feel slightly weird. Like, skipping seems like, why would you do that? Don't you want everything on? So skipping seems like counterproductive to that, and it does make my head feel a little strange. Trying to figure out why you would be skipping. I just want to loop them all. I want to loop every pin, and from even other videos that I've seen, you don't loop every pin, which just seems strange to me. But okay, we're just gonna go with what they say that it's supposed to be, even though it makes my brain feel strange. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna try to follow instructions, and hopefully that cast on was proper. I have no idea. So we're just gonna spin it and see. It's not catching anything, so I don't get that. I mean, it just, needles popped up. Oh, we're not catching nothing. See, nothing is caught. So that cannot be right. I don't know why it's not catching, but something definitely happened wrongly that these things should be catching and they're not catching. So, you know, I take full responsibility that I'm sure it's some kind of error that I am not either casting on properly or something. I don't understand the cast on, but it doesn't seem to be computing in my head as to why it would be done that way. I'm gonna need to take some time to work with this. It's not as easy as I thought it would be. I thought it would just be like, hey, cast on and go. And it's not doing that. So, but every video that I've seen is like every other pin. You don't want every pin on there, which, like I said, seems like you're skipping stitches to me if you're doing that. Because the only time I've ever, you know, not knitted a stitch is if I'm doing like an eyelet pattern. Like I did like an eyelet scarf where I would deliberately skip a stitch or whatever, because that's part of the decorative, you know, nature of the pattern. But this, yeah, I'm gonna need to go watch another video. This is not doing what I thought that it would be doing. So I'm going to go and watch another video and come back when I think I have it figured out. Back in a bit. Determined not to be a quitter, she tried again. Okay. I could have been turning too fast, and that's why the yarn kept slipping off the pins. Either way, we're going to give a bit of tension to it first and let that 48th pin catch a hold. Go behind that pin, go in front of that pin, behind, in front, 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 behind, in front. Yep, I think that's right. Behind. But see, it seems like somewhere in there that it might be, like, I don't know if this one caught. Well, okay, I guess it did. So just trust the process, I guess. Behind, front. This is very strange for me. But I'm not a quitter, so we're just gonna keep trying until we cast on properly. And this thing works. So I guess that one will go behind, and then you would take it through there. So we'll crank slow and see if it worked. It doesn't appear to be grabbing anything. That's the only thing that's like getting me. Like, okay. See, from there, something either came loose or maybe it wasn't tensioned tight enough. That could be it. It could have been the tension. So let's give it a bit of tension. See, but something still didn't catch either behind that, or let's try that again. Oh, okay, it could have been not using the tension thing, because now it seems like everything is going maybe now. Hold on, let's see. Oh, that looks better. I'm still not sure about this. That does not look good. That looks like something I'm gonna have to go back and fix. I don't think that's right. Like that looks like some dropped stitches some kind of way. So I might have to try it again. So it could be that I am not giving enough tension, which is very possible, that I'm not giving enough tension to the cast on. So when I cast on, it slips off because there's not enough tension to hold the yarn in place. That is possible. That is possible. So we're going to take all this off and we're going to try it again. All right. Thank goodness for practice yarn. We are trying this again. So we're going to go slow behind that one, in front of that one. Every other, that catch in the back. Okay. I think so. Every other stitch gets some yarn. So we just need to make sure that we're just going around each one, around that one. See, I think I missed that one. Okay, I got it. I mean, I missed it, but it was supposed to be missed. That makes sense. Missed it, but I was supposed to. Okay. And I think too, from my 4th, 5th, or 6th, or whatever restart and unwinding that has been this process is to keep tension. Keep tension on everyone, and it should be able to catch all of the stitches properly. I'm hoping this time. Okay, I'm just gonna take it slow. And it could have been I was rushing through that. From excitement to get something done, or I definitely know it was some kind of user error, because when I went back and watched another video about how this was supposed to look and how the yarn was supposed to be going on the pegs, I knew that it was something that I was not doing right. But now I don't have any stitches dropped. So maybe the first round is just a little bit tricky, which, and if you knit by hand, you kind of know that cast on is, especially if you're new to it, the cast on can be the trickiest part of, I'm going to take it slow, the trickiest part of sometimes knitting can be the cast on. I know there's a lot of different cast on methods, but I feel more comfortable hanging on to the tension myself. So I am not using the tension. I am holding it by hand because I don't trust this machine. I don't trust this machine right now, or I don't trust, or I'm not as confident in my ability to utilize this machine just yet to see if it's going to continue to pick up all of the stitches. So until I get a bit more comfortable with it, I'm gonna hang on to it myself. And then we'll see. See, all of it kind of looks uniform. It doesn't look like I've dropped any stitches. So maybe I'll try the tension. Okay, so now I think we seem to be at a place where the tension looks okay. It just came out of the thing. Let's put that back in there. See, I'm trying to figure out if this little poppy thing holder, if it's supposed to be like moving that way. I have no idea. I'm just gonna keep spinning until I run out of yarn. I haven't looked at how to add additional colors or anything like that, so we're just gonna keep spinning, keep going until that ball of yarn is no longer a ball of yarn. I can though tell, and I would be curious to know about how to add colors, because I can see that would be, the purl side of it. This would be the purl side, and that would be the knitted side. But I guess I can kind of speed it up now. It doesn't look like any stitches are being dropped. So fingers crossed we got it right this time. We'll see. I hope that it's right this time. I feel like I've taken it apart and taken the yarn off several times, but I'm not a quitter. I'm a winner. Winners don't quit on themselves, right? So we'll just keep going until we see what we make of it. I've seen, and I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on the counter too. Look like I've only done about 18 rows, 19 now. And we'll just see how far we can get with this little mini scheme and see what we'll be able to do. I am glad definitely that I went with the upgraded version of this to try to crank it and keep this thing in place without the legs and the bracers and all of that. That would have kind of, I think, not been great. I think it would have been annoying to try to work with that. So anything that can make it better, easier, more effective, more efficient, I'm definitely interested in doing something that's going to help be better. And like I said, I haven't had anything upgraded that wasn't better than the standard or the original version. So now we're coming on to the 30 row mark. And I'm sure this is not going to look like what I have handmade as far as hats or things like that in the past. I'm very thankful for this yarn because I wouldn't trust the yarn that I've bought for other projects on this. Not yet. Not until I get more comfortable with using it and seeing how it looks and seeing how it works and seeing how it's going to turn out. But with the color changing, I'm not sure how to do that. I think though, if I was going to color change, it would seem like I would need to be at the 48th pin to do that. That seems kind of like the starting row. I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate, but that's where I would start if I was going to color change. Like I said, I just got this machine And I'm not really 100% sure on how anything really works, but I think if I was going to add a change of color, it would be at the 48th pin, because that seems kind of the starting point as far as adding in color, changing color. And right now we're at 44 rows. I think I can get one more. 45 rows. That's 48. I think I can do one more. So I don't think this last little bit is going to go around. It could, but I think that might be pushing it. You know what though? I'm not going to connect it in the middle. I'm going to tie it on at the end. Kind of like a just join in the yarn. So I'm going to do this whole skein. And then join that second color. And hopefully the knot that I tie into it won't be too won't get in the way too much, but we'll see. So I'm just gonna tie it. I've never seen this done before. I am experimenting. This is my first time actually doing this. I'm pretty sure that's not the way I've seen any other knitters or Sentro owners do it, but that's what I'm gonna do. So it might just be a strange kind of color join right in the middle. Whoa, I think we still got it though. Well, I think a few of those kind of got loose. Let's see. Some of that did not catch appropriately. All right, I think we got it now though. So let's see. Yeah. So I don't know what that color change is gonna look like. I just put it in there, like I said, practice yarn. I might have to go in and pick up some stitches or something to see if that's gonna look right. And I think the tension thing pops when you either let the yarn be pulled in too tight of a stretch. Yep, we did definitely drop some stitches. So I might have to go back and try that by hand. Oops. But that is pretty. That is definitely pretty, but yeah, definitely dropped some stitches. So maybe we can rewind that, go back in time and fix that. I go back in time. Find a way to slip that stitch back on there. Find those pins. Let's see. It looks like they're looping through that. I don't actually know how to fix that. But yeah, that's not bad. I can tell where I had the tension really loose on these first stitches. And I don't gauge swatch, so I'm not really sure how that would look. But I think it was an interesting first attempt. I don't know what I'm going to do with this part right here, though. Like I said, I've seen, and it just seemed like it dropped at this part, kind of where, see, that seems connected. But it seems like here is where we lost those stitches. The stitches got dropped. And we're right at about 49 rows. But that still is not bad looking. It's a chunkier, thicker yarn. And I think it did okay. I think it did okay. And I'm sure it's not enough to do a hat, but it's a tube. I put it on the tube function. I have no idea how to get those drop stitches back on without all of the stitches dropping. See, they're dropping as I hold it. See, drop, drop, drop. They're just dropping. So yeah, maybe I should have cast that off or tried to tie it on in the middle. I've never tried that before, so I guess that's why you don't see other people doing it, because it doesn't work. Yeah, that could be it. So cool first attempt. I will continue to work with this machine and keep trying. Okay, so we've taken all of the yarn off. We've recast with that purplish, grayish blue color. I don't know why it worked better off camera. Maybe my Sentro is camera shy, or maybe I am. So as you can see, I've connected the color like I've seen other channels do it, and it did have a good effect. There was a reason why nobody tried to join it like you would join it as you were knitting on hand. So this turned out better. This is connecting a third, one of the little mini skeins of yarn, and that's actually done a really good job at staying connected. I'm pretty pleased with how this is turning out so far, and just playing with this yarn and see how it goes. So here is the panel that I was able to complete on the Sentro. I think it ended up being about 127 rows. First impressions. The Sentro was a handful. There were a lot of starts and restarts and do-overs, and I think that there's definitely some benefits to the machine. I don't think that it will replace my hand knit items that I make, but I definitely feel like it could speed up some projects that I'm working on. The panel knit, not the panel, the tube setting. I think this would actually make an excellent sleeve for a cardigan, or for a sweater, or for a shrug, or for a knitted coat. And I'm interested to try the panel setting and just knit a flat piece and see how that looks. But it was interesting to use. There was definitely some starts and some restarts. I don't know if I'm going to try to make this into a hat and then maybe do some duplicate stitching on there. There was the color change that I attempted to do. Now this, like I said, is probably like a 5 weight, just because how kind of bulky and thick that looks. I think this is also 5, but this kind of feels more like a 4 to me. It could be a 3. I think it's a 4 weight. So I think it's a 5 and a 4 weight. So they're not the same yarn weights, yarn used. And I also have this spare one. I think I'm going to try to do a panel and see how that turns out. It was definitely a learning experience. It was, and I've seen a few different videos and a few different creators use the Sentro. I will say that it was a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. And the casting on is still something that when I do use the machine, I will have to take my time and really kind of work with that. But all in all, I would still get the machine again. All in all, I still like the Sentro. I still think that it's for me, it was not something that I was just able to cast on and go. You know, the commercials and other creators made that look way more easy than it was. I think, you know, learning how to weave the yarn between the pins, and I don't mind that it took some time to learn it. It was just it was a bit more difficult to use than I expected, but still. And you know, when I first started knitting, it was difficult. Or when I first picked up a crochet hook, it was difficult. So I'm not, you know, someone who is immune to difficulties, or oh, it's difficult, or oh, it's hard, or oh, it's not something I can do because it's difficult. You know, I had to cast on and cast off several times to actually get this right. And I still feel like there's some things that I need to learn, and I just have to get used to the machine. It's just something that I need to learn how to use. It's like, you know, anything else that you try for the first time. So all in all, I did still enjoy it. It did. I mean, if you were making hats or you were doing panels, like that color change all the way around, look at that. That is excellent. I mean, I am impressed with that. I did not have, when I first started, I did drop some stitches, and I think that could have just been me cranking the handle too fast and not letting the yarn go around each pin properly. But that color change is impressive. I really like the way that that looks. Like I said, I don't think it will replace everything that I do because it just doesn't have enough pins to accommodate all of the projects that I do. But I could definitely see me using the Sentro, this 48 pin Sentro machine, to complete some projects that I have, to add to, or to even speed up the timeline of how long it actually takes for me to complete something. So all in all, I did enjoy using it. I did struggle to pin and to cast on, but I think with a bit more practice schemes and a bit more projects that I will make for myself, and you know, I'll notice the color changes, or if something's off, or if a stitch dropped. It's not something I would make for somebody until I get more familiar with the machine. But I think once I get more familiar with the machine, I will be able to make some hats and some gifts for some of the people that I love and care about. So this is my review of the Sentro, the 48. It's the 48 pin Sentro. I did enjoy it. I would buy it again. I'm glad that I went with the upgraded version, because I really, these legs and these clamps really kept the machine stable when I was turning the crank. And so that is a super plus feature that I really loved about the machine. And I'll be sharing in the upcoming weeks and days and months more projects that I'm able to do as I get to know my new friend, the new Sentro 48. So I hope my review helped. Once again, I'll leave a link in the description of this specific model that I got. It is the 48 pin, and I did get the upgraded version. So I hope this helps. Thank you for watching. Any comments or advice or opinions or advice, if you have a Sentro and you have something to comment or add, or how I can learn how to utilize the machine better, I would appreciate any advice, because like I said, I just unboxed this thing, and I think for day one, it's not bad. It's not bad. My definitely first knitting with actual knitting needles was way worse. So any advice or comment or support that you have to offer, I'd appreciate it. Just leave it down below and I will respond. Thank you for watching. Bye.